ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत सादर शिवास भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Bhagavatam Canto 7 Chapter 9 Verse 49। नैते गुणानगुणिनो महदादयो ये सर्वे मनप्रभृतयः सह देवमर्त्याः आद्यन्तवन्त उरुगाय विदन्ति हि त्वाम् एवं विमृश्य श्रुधियो विरमन्ति शब्दात्। Neither the three modes of material nature, nor the predominating deities controlling these modes, nor the five gross elements, nor the mind, nor the demigods, nor the human beings can understand your lordship, for they are all subjected to birth and annihilation. Considering this, the spiritually advanced have taken to devotional service. Such wise men hardly bother with Vedic study. Instead, they engage themselves in practical devotional service. Stated in several places, Bhaktya Mamami Janati, only by devotional service can the Supreme Lord be understood. Intelligent person, the devotee, does not bother much about the practices mentioned before. After understanding the Supreme Lord through devotional service, such devotees are no longer interested in studies of the Vedas. Indeed, this is confirmed in the Vedas also. The Vedas say kimartha vayam adhyeshyamahe kimartha vayam vakshyamahe. What is the use of studying so many Vedic literatures? What is the use of explaining them in different ways? No one needs to study any more Vedic literatures, nor does anyone need to describe them by philosophical speculation. Hmm. यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतिः. When one understands the Supreme Lord by executing devotional service, one ceases the practice of studying the Vedic literature. Elsewhere it is said, Aradito yadi hadis. If one can understand the Supreme Lord and engage in his service, there is no more need of severe austerity, penances, and so on. However, if after performing severe austerities and penances one does not understand the Supreme Lord, this is a basically goal of life is devotional service, and one somebody has come to devotional service and have completely surrendered themselves, offered themselves to the Lord. No need to study other Vedas. Vedascha sarver ahameva vedyah. The goal of knowing Vedas is to know Krishna. Then our effort should be to further understand, know Krishna, not to study Vedas. Of course, there might be some people who are interested in that, but that is different. But for devotees, we don't need to study Vedas. We have to, we need to understand Krishna, which is the essence of Vedic study, or the goal of studying Vedas is to know Krishna. So we have to put effort to know Krishna. And Krishna says, Bhaktya Mamami Janati. So we have to engage in pure devotional service. And only when we engage in pure devotional service that uh, Krishna will reveal himself. Right? The whole process of devotion is that Krishna has to manifest himself. Krishna has to reveal himself. Right? That is the whole idea of devotion. And to reach that stage, we have to um, give up material sense gratification, surrender to Krishna, perform the service, usual things that we discussed, right? And then Krishna will reveal himself. Mhm. But it's not that we should give up reading Shastra, which gives us knowledge of Krishna. This is just Vedic knowledge, which is not so much required. Even in, yeah, studying Bhakti literature is good enough for us. Bhakti literature is endless. There's so much written, right? Krishna just says, Janma karma cha me divyam vyeti tattvataha. Simply that word tattvataha is enough for us for multiple lifetimes. Of course, Krishna is so merciful that, you know, because we are connected in a bona fide parampara, then Krishna will show mercy and reveal the required knowledge. But it can take us lifetimes. Bhonam janmanam ante, manushanam sahasreshu. These verses show that it's pretty difficult to understand Krishna. But Krishna says that one who gives himself to me, I give myself to him. Right? So that way, if we surrender to Krishna, then it's easier to understand. And then the tattvataha finally has to enter into rasa tattva, understanding Krishna, devotion in various rasas, finally coming to madhurya and understanding swakiya and then parakiya, then the mood of gopis, mood of manjaris. Now, this is understanding Krishna. So we have our hands full for possibly more than one life if we are not serious about it. With the mercy of Guru and Acharyas, we can possibly achieve this, come to this stage in one lifetime also. Yeah, other things don't have to be studied, but we have to. And yes, Shastra also says that without knowing Krishna, we cannot achieve him. So we have to put our effort to know Krishna. Of course, then those who cannot read, write, etc., but sincerely surrendered, given themselves up to Krishna, Dadami Buddhi Yogam. Krishna will reveal himself to such devotees either from within or without through the Guru or other Vaishnavas or Krishna might himself reveal. But without, we cannot be in ignorance about Krishna and achieve perfection. No? Either by our efforts in putting effort, Shravanam, uh, then Smaranam, etc. Now, if you are not able to read right, by surrender, by getting the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we should understand Krishna. Or without understanding Krishna, we can't go back to Krishna. That is important. Tatte rattama namah stuti karma puja karma smritischaranayo shavanam kathayam samsevaya tvai vineti shad angaya kim bhaktim jana paramahamsa gato labheta. Therefore, O Supreme Person of Godhead, the best of all persons to whom prayers are offered, I offer my respectful obeisance to you. Because without rendering six kinds of devotional service unto you, now Prahlad Maharaj from Navavida Bhakti came to six. Now, these are the more recommended finally. Offering prayers, getting all results of activities, worshipping you, worshipping on your behalf, always remembering your lotus feet and hearing about your glory. You can achieve that which is meant for the Hamsa. Um, one cannot understand the Supreme Lord simply by studying the Vedas and offering prayers. Only by the grace of the Supreme Lord can one understand him. Process therefore is bhakti. Without bhakti, simply following the Vedic injunctions will not be helpful. The process of bhakti is understood by the Paramahamsa. one who has accepted the essence of everything. Results of bhakti are reserved for such Paramahamsa, and this stage cannot be attained by any Vedic process other than devotional service. We also have to understand that we have to reach this stage of Paramahamsa. Other processes such as Gnana and Yoga can be successful only when mixed with bhakti. When we speak of Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, the word yoga indicates bhakti. Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga executed with intelligence and full knowledge. With full knowledge. The only successful method for going back home, back to Godhead. So that is why it's also called Buddhi Yoga. Because we need intelligence, full knowledge. If one wants to be liberated from the pangs of material existence, he should take to devotional service. Right. So yeah, hearing, always remembering. This is the key. And here, Vandanam, and then some bit of karma, offering everything to Krishna, etc. But remembering, hearing, and remembering. This is the key. Uh, Finally, at the time of giving up our body, we have to, the test is smaranam. We should be able to remember Krishna. The process of hearing is to enable that smaranam. So we should do shravanam in a way that we can do smaranam. So this is very important that we try to remember. So we have to tax our brains to remember. And how can we remember? Only if we speak. That is the reason those devotees who are engaged in preaching, it is much easier for them to remember because they have to constantly speak, and as they keep speaking, they will remember those things. Of course, it doesn't mean that only a person who is preaching ends up remembering. The person who is also very nicely chanting and hearing or reading can also achieve remembrance because the process of chanting itself, uh, initially it is uh, Shravana of the holy name, subsequently leads us to Smarana. Remembrance has to come. This is like easy example is internet, right? Like suppose you go to internet and search for Krishna, you'll get so many links, right? You search for one word Krishna, you get so many links. When you click on that one link, the relevant link, then it will open up and give you all details of Krishna. So like that, the name of Krishna is like that hyperlink. So when we click that, means that when we take his name with full attention, knowing fully well that he is Krishna, Swayam Krishna, that the name is Krishna, then as soon as Krishna's thought, name of Krishna comes into our mind, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, everything comes into our mind, should come into our mind. That is the process. Uh, mm. So this is very important. Mm. So nice chanting is very, very important. We are not hearing during chanting, then there is no chance of smaranam. There's no chance we will remember because we're not hearing at all. If we don't hear, then we don't even remember whose name we are taking. Or we are not conscious about it. Which is why the process of chanting, which is why Prabhupada did not speak much about this chanting. He just said, what is the difficulty? Process is so simple. All we have to do is just do Shravanam. We have to hear the name, we have to hear Krishna's glorification of Krishna's form, beauty, pastimes, etc. And then when we hear the name, automatically name will connect us to a form will connect us to his qualities, and then his acts, his deeds, automatically. And nowadays, we have a lot of long, long seminars on chanting. May be useful, but the prime goal is to actually just do Shravanam. And the only, sometimes devotees also get confused with too many instructions for chanting. You should remember that actually the only instruction is to understand that the name is non different from Krishna. Just if we are conscious about it, and that, okay, I have to respect this process because that process is non different from Krishna, then we will give it the attention required. Mm. And then as we do more reading Prabhupada's books, hearing from exalted devotees about Krishna, Krishna's form, etc., then when we hear the name Krishna during our chanting, immediately the smaranam of his form, quality, pastimes, everything will come. So remember that Krishna's name is not different from him. That is the most important thing to remember. Mm. And it is the only way we can actually achieve Krishna in Kali Yuga. So if we can remember these two things, we can remember how important this particular service is of chanting Krishna's name. Then hopefully we will do it nicely. And which is why it is recommended that those devotees who are not able to chant nicely, they should chant in the association of devotees. It's very important that we chant in the association of devotees. Um, mm, so which is why, very soon in our Hulimau center, we want to start Mangalarti. Unfortunately, we have not been able to, but now, we just realized that we are a 3-year-old, center is 3-year-old. So we said, okay, now it's time to grow up. Um, we're going to start Mangalarti 1st April. And idea of morning program, at least phase 1 will be, we want to do all the artis, and then phase 2, once we have a kitchen, then we should be able to cook prasadam and then do morning bhagavad. Is our plan. And yeah, we seek blessings of the Prabhupada, Guru, Gauranga, Vaishnavas, so that we can tread this path, because it's very important. And the chanting, when done properly, the association devotees in front of Tulsi Maharani, actually that is our key. That's the key. And which is why Prabhupada did chanting along with that Bhagavatam, Ramanam. Right? So if we can somehow mold our life, Prabhupada always used to say that surrender means molding our life to do whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness. Sometimes devotees seem to consider convenience as a more important consideration, or inconvenience. They want to avoid inconvenience. Mm, mm, no, but that's not the topmost criteria. The topmost criteria is whatever is favorable for Krishna. Mm. Then we have to mold our life. We have to adjust. We have to do things such that we can, engage in all these activities which are favorable for devotion. Of course, I don't push devotees when they talk about convenience, but I talk about that in class. And I hope that those devotees who are, giving more importance to convenience than recognizing importance of certain activities which might even be inconvenient for them, which might require them to change their schedules, move around things a little bit, take up a little bit more material inconvenience if need be. So it's a call for all of them, saying that, don't consider convenience is not important. Actually, taking up inconvenience for Krishna is glorious, for his pleasure. And Prabhupada gave us these programs with an intent. And he said, like, morning program is the most important. Okay? So, anyway, this is my my effort to inspire devotees, scare devotees, whatever it is, to do good morning program. It's important. Of course, Prabhupada said, it's for those who cannot come to the temple or center or whatever, they should still have a strong morning program, right? And I know it's challenging for many Matajis. Morning program is challenging. But somehow We have to figure out things. It's possible. Possible. Everything is possible. Anyway, so the whole idea is that this will result in taking us closer to this stage of remembrance. The whole idea of to remember Krishna and hearing his glories. Narada Etavad Varnita Guno Bhaktya Bhakten Nirgunaha Prarhadam Pranatam Prito Yat Manyur. The great sage Narada said, thus Lord Narasimha was pacified by the devotee Prahlad Maharaj. Such long prayers, so many verses Prahlad spoke. Uh, so these prayers were offered from the transcendental platform. The Lord gave up his anger and being very kind to Prahlada. He spoke. The word nirguna is important. Mayavadi philosophers accept absolute truth as nirguna or nirakar. Word nirguna refers to one who possesses no material qualities. All his anger and spoke to Prahlada. Very interesting. Bhagavan Vacha Pradhada Badra Badram Te Prito Hamte Surottama Varam Rinishwa Matham Kama Purosmi Aham Ranam. Lord is saying, my dear Prahlada, Badram. Your Bhadra, let there be Bhadram for you. Your Bhadra means you are a very gentle devotee. Because you are most gentle. Let there be good fortune unto you. So this is very, very important. If we want Lord's blessings, we should also be Bhadra. So we should be gentle. And Pritaha Aham. So Lord is saying, I'm very pleased with you. This one line should be our North Star. We should desire that one day, or we should desire when will that day come when the Lord will be pleased with me. And how do we know if the Lord is pleased with us? When Guru is pleased with us. And we should keep hankering for this day when we will do something which pleases our Guru. We don't need recognition, but we need that Guru is pleased, that Krishna is pleased, that Srila Prabhupada is pleased. Just see, Prahlad's position. Lord is saying, I am very pleased with you. It is my pastime to fulfill the desires of all humanity. Therefore, you may ask from me any benediction. This is the test. Hmm. Lord is known as Bhaktavatsala. He is very much affectionate to his devotees. It's not very extraordinary that the Lord offered his all benedictions. The Supreme Lord said, in effect, I fulfill the desires of everyone. Since you are my devotee, whatever you want for yourself will naturally be given. But if you pray for anyone else, that prayer will also be fulfilled. See, this is very, very important to understand. Prabhupada is, again, revealing the secret. Whatever is required for a devotee, anyway, that Lord will give, even without us asking. And we should not ask. But we should pray for others. That's very, very important. Praying, of course, we don't pray for others' material progress. We pray for their spiritual progress. But it is important to pray because we should understand that sometimes devotees or people who are wanting to become devotees, they might not have the qualification to enter bhakti. What are the qualifications to enter bhakti? Bhakti is independent. But if they have not lived piously in previous life and they have not done any Sukruti, Agnata Sukruti, etc., they might not get attracted to devotion because we see so many people come in touch with Krishna consciousness and go away. But if the devotee who's preaching, who's distributing books, etc., if they can pray, similarly, devotees in whose houses parents, siblings, relatives, etc., are not Krishna consciousness, you should pray. That prayer will be fulfilled. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. Thus, if we approach the Supreme Lord or his devotee, or if we are blessed by a devotee, naturally we will automatically achieve the benedictions of the Supreme Lord. So, one is we should pray for others, and we should act in such a way that the Guru will pray on for us, for our spiritual will. Guru can bless, Guru will also pray. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. If one pleases the Vaishnava spiritual master, all of one's desires will be fulfilled. All. Of course, somebody wants to please his Guru, doesn't please him with the motive of some material progress. So here, ideally, all desires will be all spiritual desires. We want to do some service, we want to engage in some way, we want, all those desires will be fulfilled. So this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also. So that's all we have to do. You just try to please Guru, and Guru is always pleased when we bring others into devotion. All Gurus are pleased. All great Vaishnavas are pleased. Whole parampara is pleased. So now let's see. God himself is saying, ask for benediction. Mam aprinata ayushman darshanam durlabam hime dastva mam na punarjantur atmanam taptum arhati. My dear Prahlada, may you live a long time. One cannot appreciate or understand me without pleasing me. But one who has seen or pleased me has nothing more for which to lament for his own satisfaction. No, Narasimha here said, you ask for benediction, right? But then he's also a little bit qualifying. Of course, Allah doesn't require this, but still for all of us. One who has seen or pleased the Lord has nothing more for which to lament for his own satisfaction, which means that he will never ask anything for his own self. Prabhupada is saying one cannot be happy unless one pleases the Supreme Lord. But one who has learned how to please the Supreme Lord will be happy in all circumstances. Need no longer lament. You should be happy in all circumstances. No longer lament for material condition. Prinanti hyatamam dhiraha sarvabhavena sadhavaha shreyas kama mahabhaga sarvasam ashisham patim. Dear Prahlad, you are very fortunate. Please know from me that those who are very wise and highly elevated try to please me in all different modes of mellows. I am the only person who can fulfill all the desires of everyone. Dhiraha sarvabhavena. Whichever way you like. Bhava sarvabhavena. Any bhava. Prabhupada is saying this bhava is a preliminary condition of it. Atasaktis tato bhavas tata premabhyudantati sadhakanam ayam premna tadur bhave bhavet kramaha. And bhava is the final division before one reaches love of Godhead. The word sarva bhava means that one can love Supreme Lord in different transcendental mellows. In the Shanta, one is on the border of loving service to the Lord. So Shanta is not considered as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected Shanta. So pure love of Godhead begins from Dasya. Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Still, in any of these five mellows, one can render loving service to the Lord. Since our main business is to love the Supreme, one can render service from any of the above mentioned platforms of love. But we have to reach there. We have to reach the stage of bhava, and there are characteristics. All these different stages have characteristics. How to recognize, how to identify the stage in which we are in. We should read for that Madhurya Kadambini, which we already discussed. So it describes in great detail what are the characteristics of different stages. Anishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, all of these. And also, Nectar of Devotion also describes. Okay, so we have to recognize, then we have to make sankalpa, determination to go to the next stage, to move, make progress. Sometimes we see that devotees are just simply just they just doing devotion and not bothered about where they are in their devotional progress, whether they made progress, they've not made progress, or how to make progress. Mm. Somehow devotees don't seem always anxious about it. But we have to be anxious about making progress. Otherwise just imagine, this life, if it ends without us making serious progress, then we don't know where we are going to be in next life. Whether we'll get the favorable environment, whether we will, whether we'll end up misusing our free will again, we don't know. We should be anxious, worried. This life we should do, make maximum use, move as fast as possible. But again, this is something that all devotees should know. Please don't ignore your material duties. Don't make, like, mm, like for example, if Matajis have to cook, don't make, like people in the house go without food or, eat something because nothing has been cooked, or, don't ignore your children. Don't give up your duties towards your parents, in-laws. I mean, but of course, nothing should be overly done. I know of devotees whose situations such that their families, children are not supportive of their devotion. We should not take it too seriously. Children are supposed to learn from parents. Parents are supposed to tell them what is right, what is wrong. And we don't have to take them too seriously, but at the same time, we want to somehow make sure that we are taking them also along. Both have to happen. But we should not, there is no reason we need to get stuck in any situation of life. At the same time, doesn't mean that we give up our normal basic duties towards our family, and mostly family. And we don't have to do extended duties towards relatives and this and that and all that. That's not it. At least towards our family, basic responsibilities have to be done. At the same time, not getting stuck because of unfavorable situation in the house. So somehow we have to make progress. So which is why it is difficult. Devotion sometimes can be difficult, and we have to pray for mercy. We pray for mercy. But please remember that we have to make progress. Mm. Everybody who's serious about their devotion should know where they stand in their devotion. Of course, if you ask some devotees will say, Prabhu, I'm still in an anartha stage. Okay, that is good. Okay, most of us will be in anartha stage for a long time. But what anarthas? Which anarthas? Are you working towards something? What needs to be done to overcome? These are important things to answer. Sometimes, in the name of humility, devotees simply say, Prabhu, I'm so fallen. Actually, indirectly, it means, Prabhu, I don't want to make any progress. Because, yes, all of us are fallen. That is why we are here. So, that external what expression of so-called humility is not necessarily required. What is really humility means? Okay, asking some elevated devotee saying that what can I do? How can I make progress? But for which there has to be some introspection. Mm. If I ask devotees here saying that not don't have to do it now, after the class or whenever you get some time, take a piece of paper and write down what is preventing you from making progress, and also see if you can answer how to overcome this. What do I need to do to overcome this? And if you are not able to, please talk to those devotees who under whose guidance you are in. And but I mean, just that first exercise itself. First, mm, many devotees come and ask me saying, "What should I do?" I said, like, first you tell me where you stand, right? For which introspection is required. First, you have to understand where you stand. What of the recommended processes you are not doing? What is your internal state? We can't understand, right? We can't understand anybody's internal state. So, what are the impurities in the heart? Then, when we have that, that is like a X-ray, like a X-ray of your situation. Then, either you can yourself contemplate about ways to move, or you can ask other devotees, right? But it's very important. At least once in 3 months, we should be doing this. 3 to 6 months, at least. Actually, it should be daily. We should know where we stand. Okay, what I need to do next? What is my top priority? And then keep working on the top priority. And if we are stuck, we are stuck. We keep trying, begging, talking to devotees, asking, for ways to overcome. But don't be complacent. Don't be complacent about your devotion. Sometimes I see devotees, they are satisfied with some services they are doing and some, chanting, etc. that they're doing, but nothing more. They don't have any desire to make progress. It's very dangerous. Mm. So don't be complacent. Don't be satisfied with your stage of material, of spiritual. Anchor for more. Because this stage is not easy. This coming to this bhava is not easy. Very, very exalted. So, at a bare minimum, we should come to Nishta, fixed devotional service. And Prabhupada says somewhere saying that Nishta means 75% of our anarthas are gone. And we are very stably, in a fixed manner, doing devotion on a daily basis. That is Nishta. Then only, when we come to the end of Nishta, is when we get liberated. That is the stage of liberation. Meaning, close to 100%, not fully, but most of our anarthas are gone. Most. And even if there are some anarthas, they're not troubling us. They're not affecting our nishta. That itself is so much of work. Because whenever I see words like this, I get stuck. It's so difficult. It's so exalted. First of all, we have to desire. Second, we have to know what this means. Third, we have to know how to progress, how to move towards that. All these things are required. Okay, so I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions? Actually, how much more? I think it's almost over. Yeah, yeah. Just one verse. Finish this. दिनार्दुवाच एवं प्रलोभयमानोऽपि वरैर्लोकप्रलोभनैः एकान्ति वा एकान्तित्वाद् भगवती नैच्छत्तान असुरोत्तमः. Prahlada was the best person in the family of Asuras who always aspire for material happiness. Asuras aspire for material happiness. Nonetheless, although allured by the Lord who offered him all benedictions for material happiness, because of his unalloyed Krishna consciousness, he did not want to take any material benefit for sense gratification. Pure devotees like Prahlada and Dhruva do not aspire for any material benefit at any stage of devotional service. Of course, Prahlada, before he desired, but when the Lord was present before Dhruva, Dhruva did not want to take any material benefit from the Lord. Swami Kritatosmi Varam na yache. But first he wanted. He went to the forest to get something that he desired, right? But when the Lord appeared in front of him, then he said, no, no, I don't want anything. So he became pure. He did not ask for any material thing. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. We should remember this. Literally, if we are not, then we are stuck. We are stuck at this stage. We cannot go to the next verses of Shikshastakam. We should come to this stage. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Kavitam, Pajagadisha Kamam. I only want Janmani Bhavatat Bhakti Rahituki. I want your Ahituki Bhakti, pure devotion. Engage me as your servant. So, till we come to this stage, we have not reached liberation. Okay, so with this, we end. Okay, any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam.
Yeah, Naman,
Prabhu, what exactly means by Nishtha, Prabhu? Like,
Nishta. Yeah.
yes.
So like I said, so Nishta means uh, being fixed, committed, dedicated. Mm. So, like I said, two things. One is mostly we spend a lot of our time in the stage of anartha nivritti, where kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya have to go. Till we have this kind of, till the heart is not, heart has to be 75, at least 75% clean, Prabhupada says. 75% clean. Now, whatever that means, we don't know what that 75% means. But in general, in another way, it is described saying that before we come to Nishta, our anarthas disturb our sadhana. Meaning, one day we get up early, next day we don't. One day we do something, next day we don't. One day we have enthusiasm, next day we don't. All this is called anishtita. We are not fixed. Kaya, vacha, manasa, we should be fixed in devotion. To what extent? To the extent of 75% of our anarthas have got cleaned. To that extent, we will be fixed in kaya, vacha, manasa, devotional service. And this is a matter of, that is why this requires self introspection, talking to devotees who are guiding us, talking to Guru, etc. Right? We'll then understand. But then what is the symptom of such a person is that he remains, he takes up, more and more life moves towards full time devotion or more dedication, then taking up more responsibilities, doing sadhana in a very fixed manner, irrespective of what happens around, whether body, mind, uh, whatever is can be troubling, but the devotion will remain fixed and continue. That is the stage of we enter Nishta. We exit Nishta when we become liberated, which means that we have like really no sochati na kankshati. All this becomes zero. Material, yeah, desires, hankerings, whatever it is, all zero, right? And only uh, pure devotion. Our heart becomes full of desire for pure devotion. When we start seeing all jivas equally, right? Kamabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. Mas sarveshu bhuteshu madhu. So when we reach this stage, that is the end of Nishtha and we enter into Ruchi, right? But entering into Nishtha stage is at least 75% of anarthas should have gone. And these anarthas should not be disturbing our sadhana and seva, our commitments. Our mood swings towards devotion should stop. All these kinds of things. One day we feel like doing, another day we don't feel. All this should go off. Then we are slowly coming to Nishtha.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, in one of the paragraph we discussed that if our relatives are not in Krishna consciousness, we have to pray for them. But relatives also should have that desire, right? They should be in Krishna consciousness. If they're not at all interested, can
Yeah,
Krishna
well, you
help?
can still pray. You can still pray. See, when devotees pray, Krishna can consider it. Of course, see, if the people for whom we are praying are completely atheists, right, or don't
Okay.
want Krishna at all, then Krishna is not going to do much. Still, he might give some mercy by creating some situations for them to hear and at least become, if not antagonistic, if not against Krishna, at least be neutral. See, even if the jivas become neutral, there is a chance that they can accept Krishna consciousness. They might not be pro Krishna conscious, but if they are not, as long as they are not anti Krishna conscious, our prayers can still work. And we've seen that. We've seen that in so many cases. right? Initially, spouses, husband or wife, not favorable at all. But the devotee is praying constantly and feeding prasadam. Then slowly they become favorable. And that is a result of just prayer, nothing else. Of course, prasadam and prayer. When prasadam is not there, prayer is very powerful. We have to be sincere. First of all, we should be fixed in our own sadhana, and we should be sincere in what we are doing. If we are only like, why will Krishna listen to us if we are only not fixed? Mhm. So first we should fix ourselves. Then we can pray for others. Stage one is pray for yourself. Once you are like little bit, like Prabhupada said, first you save yourself, then you save others. Save ourselves doesn't mean that wait till perfection. Save ourselves means that we are convinced completely that it is devotion is everything, and that we are trying to mold our life, to do that. We have surrendered to some authority. When we do all this, then we have saved ourselves. Then we can try to save others. And those prayers are very powerful. Yeah. Anything else?
Uh, Pranam Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Prabhuji, it's
Mata.
related to this only. Like we can directly pray, like we can command, or we should say, Krishna, if you desire, please grant in
Uh-huh.
bhakti.
What is command? How can we command?
Like no, like it will be like troubling Lord, na, if somebody is not interested in praying for them. Like
No,
if
we
people
can't
are.
any day command. Who can command? Pure devotees can command, right? On the
Yeah,
platform of love, Yashoda Mata
right,
can
right.
command. We are not in that stage. At least I can speak about myself.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we can
No, no.
pray. We
I
can
wanted to
pray.
say like direct prayer.
Yeah, we can do that. We can offer direct prayers. We can offer prayer to Guru. We can offer prayer to Nityananda Prabhu. We can offer prayer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We can offer prayer to Krishna. We can offer prayer to. We can offer prayer. Requesting, saying that no, we can offer direct prayer. Yes, the prayer is implicit, saying that if you so desire, but it also depends on our conviction, how much we want the prayer to be answered. That conviction also has to come across, right? So we can say, yeah, earnestly beg at your lotus feet, please bestow this mercy on this devotee. Ask like that.
Yes, that is a better way. And Prabhuji, if like the elders are like in trouble, like bodily suffering mentally, and they are not able to do anything, although they wish to do, then what should we like pray?
Yeah, if they wish to do, then we can pray for strength so that they can actually do.
Like we can
We
pray
can
for their better health, no?
we can
So
pray
that
for
they
giving
may.
their no. We cannot
Okay,
pray for better health because no guarantee better health is
okay,
going to do anything. The only thing we should pray is pray for strength. Pray for that mercy they can still remember Krishna. They can still chant Krishna in whatever situation they're in. See, this coming out of a material situation to improve our devotion is no guarantee.
yes,
There is no
yes,
guarantee. Okay, I mean, if Lord desires, then let them become all right. That is okay. Because see, in this case, we have to say Lord desires because we actually don't know what is good for the jiva. Right? We might pray for somebody to come out of their health problems, and maybe Lord had planned to take them, you know, you give them an easy route. Now, because of us, then that jiva might have to suffer. So don't pray for any material outcome all the time. Don't pray for any material outcome. The only thing is let the devotee be engaged in devotion, let their consciousness be fixed in Krishna, let them remember Krishna at the time. These kind of things we should pray. Because asking for better health is, like I said, Krishna has better plans for every jiva. We should trust him. Don't think that our intelligence is more. See, I'll tell you my practical example, right? My mom is like literally struggling with her body, etc. And sometimes I feel that, Krishna, why, why is she still around? Why is she struggling? Then immediately this thing comes to my mind saying that, no, no, Krishna knows better. Why am I questioning Krishna? Then again, I satisfy myself by saying, no, no, Krishna, okay, just give her, let her be as Krishna conscious. And we'll just request, pray like that. That's all. We can't see people suffering, but we know that he has a better plan. He knows better than us.
Yes, Prabhuji. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. Okay, so we can close. Nothing else, Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, Radhika Mataji.
Prabhuji, you said that you are not means don't take kids very seriously. Like
Yes.
when kids means when we are doing this and they are in pain and they are not happy, Prabhuji. So like
Yeah.
I feel like when she's not happy, am I committing some sin or I have to keep my family also happy?
Oh, that's impossible. That's not possible in this material world. Keeping one person happy is impossible in this material world. That's right. See, we should understand that now you think, saying that those boys who become brahmacharis, they're giving up their duty towards their parents. Right? They're giving up their duty. If they think emotionally, then they'll be stuck. Right? Having said that, that there is always a certain limit of concern, consideration that has to be there. Okay. Now, if the expectation goes overboard, then it is unreasonable. Right? Now, it's like this. Let me put it this way. Right? If suppose the child wants to eat a lot of chocolate, okay, because that's what it likes. Right? But the mother sees that that's not good. The mother will withhold giving the chocolate to the child. The child will cry. Is that bad? It's not bad. Right? No, so there might be some things which are let the child cry in that situation. Maybe that is the way that the child will come to Krishna consciousness, right? So, being materially, if we become materially very, very affected by these things, our devotion will get stopped, will get halted. At the same time, which is why I'm saying, I'm not saying that ignore them, don't take care of them, but what is their business in our devotion? What is their business? Their expectation is come eat outside, come we'll go to movie. Now, which is all some things that they also learn to do, have to learn the hard way. What can we do? We can do a little, like we can, okay, you want to eat outside, okay, fine. You take them to a Krishna conscious restaurant. It's not great, but it's okay. But I'm not saying that, okay, go and sit in a movie. I've even done this. You won't believe I've done this. I've closed my ears and eyes and sat in a movie and said, oh, movie was so nice after the movie. But I'm saying the only reason to be doing all this is if there is some way we can bring them to Krishna consciousness. So sometimes, we also should be very, very shrewd. We should do some give and take. Like saying, okay, fine, I'll do this. Can you do this for me? You do this for me, I'll do this for you. Right? We have to be tactful, right? See, because at the end of the day, trying to satisfy somebody materially is not possible. Right? And somebody who is not, who doesn't want Krishna consciousness, we have to really cheat them to bring them into Krishna consciousness. So yeah, for example, yeah, you come to satsang every week. I will come with you. Deal. Okay, fine. You come, I will come. Right? But just saying, okay, I will do whatever you want. What is the use? They are not going to come into Krishna consciousness. It's going to spoil our Krishna consciousness. The whole thing is a failure. Right? At the same time, please understand, I'm not saying that just become one, rebel, right? Such that people are feeling like miserable around you. Not like that. We can be humble, we can be nice, we can take care of them, take care of their material needs, etc. Everything. But the most important point is devotion cannot be forgotten in the situation. That's the point I'm making. Right? And if we are very soft about this, we will remain like this. See, if a person doesn't want devotion, that person will never want devotion. Right? So we have to pray. That's one very important thing. Feed them as much prasadam to the neck as possible and keep praying and create situations for them to associate with devotees. Somehow we have to somehow keep trying. Our only headache should be not how to satisfy. How can I keep that my child happy materially? That's not our problem statement. Our problem statement is how can I make sure that this diva can make progress in devotion? That should be our constant uh, thought process. At the same time, we will be with them. We will be with them just to pull them onto our side, not to go onto their side. Please understand this. So anyway, I mean, it can be tricky. It can be tricky. Pray to Prabhupada, pray to Krishna for mercy, right? But the solution is not going on their side, going and trying to satisfy them in every way possible. Oh, so by doing this, they're going to be happy. But what is the use? Are they going to become a devotee? If they're going to become a devotee, and do it. If there is no way, if it's taking you also away from devotion, then there's no point at all.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
these things, like I said, yeah, I know Mataji's situation, but I'm not going to. I want devotees to understand and decide what they want to do in life, right? Because uh, we cannot just force somebody to do something, right? So when devotees come to me and say, I can't, do this, I will say, okay. I will not say, no, 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 you're wrong. You should do this. I see so many devotees. I say something with the intention that that is going to be beneficial for them, not specifically saying with respect to Radhika Mata. In general, so many devotees, I tell various things at different times. It will look like a suggestion only, but that suggestion is something which is going to make their devotional life overall better, and also not. And of course, material situations nobody can improve. Material situations are already predetermined, right? If our karma is such that our children have to be angry with us or upset with us, what can we do? It's our karma. Don't think that by you doing devotion that this is getting caused. Devotion not cause any material misfortune for us. Please understand that. So when we say something that is for spiritual welfare, right? But doing it or not is left to individual. That conviction has to be there in the individual to do that. Otherwise, it's fine. Otherwise, it's fine. We leave it at that. We can't push people beyond their acceptance, beyond their ability to implement something. We can't push, and we'll not push. But we'll definitely say. This is something I'm just like cautioning all, all devotees. If there is something that, especially because many devotees here are under my care, so I'm saying that when I say something, please take it seriously. Consider it seriously, because it is being said with thought, sufficient thought having gone behind, but whatever, right? But at the same time, I'm not pushing. That also is important, because I want devotees to come to that level of maturity, acceptance, think about how they want to go about. If devotees come and say, okay, no, this can't be done, I'll say, okay. I will not say why. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? I'm not going to say all that, because that is their business to think. Hmm? So this is not my usual way of functioning, but I'm just saying, because I'm just telling devotees, saying that it's important, saying that think through. Don't be emotional. Don't be sentimental about your life. Don't think about convenience as the most important factor in your life. Don't, so many things, right? Everything that we speak in every class, right? Our focus is Krishna. Focus is Krishna in one life. It can be difficult, but we have to somehow move on. Okay, I'll stop there. I think little bit heavy. Yeah, Radhika Mataji, nothing to hurt you or anything. You understand that. So, but don't don't get don't feel pressured under your situation. It's just a test. I told you that day also. It's just a test,
Yes.
and you have to just be surrender to Krishna, have the faith, and pray for mercy. And we have to have the determination. We should have the desire, saying that no, no, whatever it is, I want to achieve Krishna in this life. At the same time, I am not going to, I this always I tell people, saying that don't act in such a way that people say you Krishna conscious people are so heartless. You're so irresponsible. We are not any of that. But it doesn't mean that we simply say yes to everything that material that other people say. Both are important. So we have to somehow figure out how both are accomplished, not one direction. Yeah, it can be tough. Can be tough. I understand. Okay, thank you all. Again, if my words have hurt anybody, I apologize. Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagatguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpataru Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanam Namo Namananta Kundi ki jai, Samveta Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Pranam.